have another question here is how to use MPC Beats. So I have this plugin and I really like it. I think it's one of the I've done some beats with these MPC Beats and I really enjoy it. But I'm not the most excuse me. I'm not the expert on this DAW or this plugin or VST, but I think it's really cool and I really like to use it. So let me show you what I do have here for the MPC. Where is it? Where did I put it? MPC Beats here. So this is kind of like an extra DAW on top of your DAW. Let's see, I have some updates. Let me remind me later. And as you can see, this is kind of a DAW itself. So you could make an entire beat here and you could do everything that you do in FL Studio, you can do inside of this DAW. The only thing that I don't like about this DAW is the fact that I can only use one instance. So if I go here to the channel rack, and if I add another instance of MPC Beats, I can't. It says MPC Beats already running. You already have MPC Beats running on your computer. You can only run one instance of MPC Beats at a time. I don't like this too much, to be honest, and that's one of the reasons why I don't use this DAW or this plugin too much. I really like the workflow and everything, and I as you can see, I have a bunch of packs that I bought, extra packs that were on sale, and it has some really amazing sounds, especially for hip hop. But again, I don't like it too much because of the fact that I can only use a single instance on my DAW, and I think that's a really not so good limitation. I think they could had a better way to use these, because sometimes, let's say I want to use samples, I want to use drum samples or a piano sample, and then I want to separate everything because I like to have everything in tracks so that when I go to mix, I have the individual tracks. I can't have these, but I have to go through several ways to do it. So let me show you what I mean. Let's say that I want to go, let's use Urban Roulette samples, and let's say that I choose here a kick. I like this one. Let's bring this one to this here. Then I choose a snare. Let's go with actual snares. I like that one. And now let's bring some hi-hats. I like this one. So we have 3 sounds here. Now I go to the pattern and let me see. So we have the kick here. We have the hi-hat and the snare. So let's put this at 90 BPMs. Let's do a nice drum loop here. And let's do a little bit extra stuff here. And maybe we could add something like this and bring this volume down and this one down. And now let's add some swing just to give it a more interesting vibe. Okay, so now I have to make this smaller. So I have this cool loop that I like, and as you can see, it's playing there. I could still do the same thing here in the how can I say, in their playlist, but I like to do everything in FL Studio, but I would like also to take advantage of the capabilities of MPC Beats. But I prefer to have everything on my program here. That's why I don't use these too much, even though the sounds are really, really cool and I like them. But the way for me to do this is to take out all the tracks that I need is I go here to the mixer, actually here, and if I play now, you see that I have the kick, the snare, and the hi-hat here. And what I have to do is export these put stereo out 1, stereo out 3 and 4, and stereo out 5 and 6. And you see that still, let's put this on track 1, it's still only on one track, but now if I go here, and if I go to options and processing, and I auto map outputs, now I have the kick here, the snare, and the hi-hats. So now I just have the snare, the kick, and now I can control the volume of all the elements. But as you can see, this takes me a little bit of time, and I don't want that. I like to just have everything in my I like to have more control in my DAW, and even though the MPC Beats you could do this everything inside here, I don't like to go through that, because then exporting, it's not the same. I like to export everything in FL Studio, and then I can export every single track as a stereo output, an individual stem, so that I can bring up into Studio One and mix my tracks. So I do like this MPC Beats, but I'm not the most the best person to talk about it, because I only use it when I need some really cool drum loops or drum sounds. And then what I do is basically this: I route everything into tracks, and then as you can see, it's been in track 1, but then I routed the outputs and I mapped them to different channels. The thing is that every time that I do this, I cannot use track 2 and 3 anymore, because if I move these to track, let's say track 5, what happens is that now I have here everything moved also. So this doesn't move with my, as you can see, I did some panning and volume changes to my hi-hats, but this does not move with moving here. So it's a little bit harder to use the MPC Beats inside of FL Studio because of this. I don't know if this is the limitation for FL Studio or if it's a limitation for all the other DAWs. But I really like this plugin or this program, and I would like to see it to have extra instances so that I can load just a sample and just use it, because I have some really cool packs here that I really enjoy, and I don't use them too much because of that. But besides that, this tool is really cool, and maybe in the future I will start to learn a little bit more about this, and maybe do some get a feeling for how to use the DAW better, so that I don't have to go back and forth with FL Studio and trying to find the best way to route everything, and going through this, taking extra time just to route stuff.